Hi, it's Miles Red Songbird in New York City. This song is in my head. People stop and stare. They don't bother me. For there's no place else on earth that I would rather be. Isn't that great? They don't bother me, rather me. I love that rhyme. Oh, I think it's Alan Lowe or somebody. I think that's from My Fair Lady. Or it might be from the West Side Story, but what a fantastic set of rhymes that song has. It says, I have often walked down the street before, but the pavement always stayed beneath my feet before. You see, there it is again. Isn't that great? Okay, let me get on with what I want to talk about. I appreciate unusual, unique, one-of-a-kind rhymes, because I'm a lyricist myself. Western Journal Politics, mainstreaming clues to you. I am. C-SPAN founder retires. Lying is the word that I would use to describe this town, he says. This online article, is by a guy named Randy DeSoto, published April 22nd, 2019. I just took excerpts from it. I didn't copy everything. C-SPAN founder, because I'm giving clues. I'm not giving, detailed descriptions. C-SPAN founder Brian Lamb, who is preparing to sign off the network next month after 40 years, said that lying is pervasive in Washington, D.C., and the trend has been for it to get worse, not better. The biggest lie, this is what I'm saying, I'm adding this. The Act of 1871, when Congress committed treason and made the capitalized United States of America a corporation. You understand? Before that, it was the United States for America, and it was a constitutional republic. So that happened, and that's a horror. And Congress has been committing treason ever since. Now back to this article. C-SPAN was the brainchild of Lamb after serving as a public affairs officer in the U.S. Navy during the height of the Vietnam War in the 1960s and a press secretary for a U.S. senator starting later in the decade. Now let's decode Vietnam War, because I found a message here and I was amazed. Victory, I-sex, which means pleasure. Victory, pleasure, extraterrestrial, enters M-W, Adams, her. Mild red songbird. Okay, and then I tried to write. Did I write it out? Oh, I didn't write it out. Okay, well, that was clear, right? You see, what happened was the extraterrestrial, Eve, came to the earth because Adam was crying for help. He had created himself, and he became self-conscious before he became a man, as an ape. So he was panic-stricken, and he screamed out to the universe. The extraterrestrial mild red songbird, Eve, was in the ocean of bliss in heaven, and she was awakened from her blissful mindset by his pain. Her sympathies were aroused, and she came to the earth like an RN to help him. Okay, you see, that's what happened. And so let me read it again. Victory, pleasure. Adam got pleasure. her trip was a victory for Adam. Extraterrestrial enters, I am the extraterrestrial, and I enter Adam's life. I am the W of Adam. This is Adam's double, mate. Okay, W, Adam's her. And her name is Mild Red Songbird. Okay, so that's clear. I made that clear. I wanted you to be able to understand that that was a description of the beginning of Adam and Eve. And I found it absolutely astonishing that there it was in these words, Vietnam War. Who would have thought I would find that in there? I was amazed. Okay, mainstream includes to the marginalized. Western Journal Politics. Lying is the word. This is a continuation of the online article I was reading earlier. Lying is the word that I would use to describe this town, Lamb recently told the Wall Street Journal. I don't know if it will ever stop. It's gotten worse rather than getting better, and both sides do it. You've got to listen very carefully to what they're saying. For the past 30 years, a 77-year-old has hosted the Sunday night interview program Question and Answer on C-SPAN. Some of his big gets over the years have included former presidents Richard Nixon, Gerald Ford, Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan, George H.W. Bush, Bill Clinton, and George W. Bush. And I may as well tell you here that as Eve continued to live on the earth without Adam because there was a breakup, she was married to 6 U.S. presidents. She was married to George Washington. That's Glenn Beck now. And she was married to John Adams. That's Mark R. Levin. Sean Hannity she was married to, who is Thomas Jefferson. She was married to Lionel Richie, who was James Madison. Ulysses S. Grant she was married to is now Owen Benjamin. And Abraham Lincoln she was married to, who is now Tony Robbins. Okay, so she has quite a background of being the support of the 6 presidents of the United States. Okay, behind every great man there's a great woman. So this great woman was behind these presidents, and that's the mother of the earth, Eve, also known as Mild Red Songbird. Okay, so this man, Lamb, interviewed other renowned world leaders, such as Margaret Thatcher and Mikhail Gorbachev. There's a story where Tony Robbins, Abraham Lincoln, was flying Gorbachev around for 2 hours in his plane, and he got to interview him. Tony Robbins is really big. He's bigger than most people know. He owns a private island in Fiji. Anyway, he was Abraham Lincoln, so what do we expect, right? Naturally, he's big. Okay, Mikhail Gorbachev. I have an impressive background, and I'm not big, so it's not guaranteed, yet. According to a biography put together by his alma mater, Purdue University. Beginning in 1989, Lamb has also interviewed about 800 nonfiction authors for the weekly program Book Notes. The first time I was aware of Book Notes, I saw Lamb interviewing Ben Shapiro, and I was so amazed at Shapiro's intellect. I didn't know at the time he was an Ashkenazi Jew, from the smartest group of humans. But he was amazing, and it was a 2-hour interview, and I listened with bated breath, as they say. I just want to see what this guy's going to say next. And he talks so fast, he almost has a speech impediment, but his intellect is so sharp. All right, there was a poll on this article. Do you think Lamb is right about people in Washington lying? 100% of those asked, 193 voters, said yes. Nobody said no. Isn't that something? We have a form of government and we know they're lying to us. It's just the most astonishing thing, and we're letting them get away with it. C-SPAN reaches 89 million homes, which is down from a recent peak of 100 million in 2014 as people shift away from cable to streaming services. Now, when did this happen? These things happen, and I missed them. I know I watch Owen Benjamin streaming live, so I'm aware of it, but I just don't know when it started and the meaning of it, It just one day I was listening to him and I saw that there were messages underneath the video, and that's what streaming live is, I think. So the network is entirely funded by cable subscribers. In contrast to PBS and NPR, we get no money whatsoever, not one dime from the government, Lamb told the Wall Street Journal. Wall Street Journal is strange. Sometimes they tell the truth and make sense, and then other times I wonder where they're coming from, I think Rupert Murdoch owns them. Besides lying, Lamb said another thing he has observed over the years in Washington is the power of lobbyists. Obama said he was going to get rid of lobbyists. That was a lie, another lie. He told so many lies. Speaking of lying, there was a website that had 100 lies Obama told. So people know they're liars. The president's even was lying. There's a lot about this town that you can't figure out, he told the Journal. What you can't see is the incredible value or influence of lobbyists. They're hidden. This is big. They're hidden. Remember that. They're writing legislation. Isn't that something? The Congress is supposed to write legislation, and there's some lobbyists and not even elected people who pay the Congress to let them to vote for things to be the way they want them to be. One of the biggest lobbyists in Washington is AIPAC. That's the Israel lobbyists. And everybody said they pay all the congressmen. That's why America gives Israel billions of dollars. This so corrupt. So these lobbyists are writing speeches. You believe that? They're feeding the process. That's horrible. Okay, that's enough. I talked about so many things. I don't want to put any more topics on this one video. So it's Mild Red Songbird in New York City, and you're looking at my daughter Robin Birdsong, who was St. Francis of Assisi, and I live here in the St. Francis of Assisi residence. This is Jessica Tonamentia, who was a hero during the Civil War. She was Clara Barton. She founded the American Red Cross. This is Sheila, who is in charge of the art here. She was Leonard Bernstein projection, and she wrote the West Side Story. Is that what they call the West Side Story, right? It's a musical with Puerto Ricans, and there was a fight, gang fights and things like that. It was very good. I love, just met a girl named Maria. da 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 can be Maria. Say it loud, and it's almost like praying. No, that's say it loud, and it's okay. I'm not remembering the words because I'm rushing. All right. This is Govinda Singh, Jesus Christ, before his beard turned white. He's in charge of the Dara and the Punjab in India, heaven on earth. This is Jagat Singh. He was once the master there at Dara. He's now Singh Birdsong, my son. And this is Desai Govinda Singh is Jesus Christ, because his was my husband in past life. And Jagat Singh was Jesus Christ consciousness in his time. So this Dara is a very special place, and he gave us a book detailing how they put together heaven on earth, which is such a wonderful thing, because we can do the same thing here in America once we get rid of the corruption and make it heaven again, which is what he's doing. He's the architect of heaven on earth. Now this says your spa time is 4 o'clock. Jessica, who is the RN here, did a wellness day where she gave us free facials, and she did our feet and legs like in the spa, and it was heavenly. And she also started a group. I think that's her. This must be Vegetarian Friday. That's her. Preparing, washing dishes. She started a vegetarian group because I'm a vegetarian. I'm a lacto-vegetarian, which means I eat no meat, no fish, no eggs, and nothing containing their essence. Robin, my daughter, is the same diet. She doesn't either. And so Jessica started a Vegetarian Friday group, and she makes a wonderful dish. And if she doesn't make the dish, then Maria Kant makes a dish, and which she gets the recipes from online. And she's been getting some winners. And so many people come to the vegetarian group. And I'm just so grateful to Jessica for doing that. She's an Aquarius, That's my rising sign. Aquarians are very good for me. My other mother in my past life was Robin when she was Angoni, and she was an Aquarius. So, it's really helpful that I read energy. I'm very glad, because it explains my life to me. Before, everything was a big mystery. I didn't know why anything happened. I didn't know why I was born, because my mother didn't want me. She told me when I was 4 years old. Okay, that's it for now. I will talk to you again soon, because I have lots of data to share with you tonight. I've been working all day gathering the data, and now I'm going to put it on video. So,